Of course, electricity prices remain front and centre in this election campaign. Peter Dutton is promising more gas to get prices down in the short term, and of course the nuclear plan to deliver reliable emissions-free power into the future. Here's what he had to say this morning.
At a time when families are paying 30% more for groceries, people are working second, third jobs, when their electricity bills have gone up by 32% and their gas bills gone up by 34%, they are struggling to find every dollar in their budget.
Now, households are bad enough, but this issue goes much wider and deeper into the economy. And I'm joined now by Richard Forbes from Independent Food Distributors Australia. Joins me live from Adelaide. Thanks for speaking to us, Richard. Tell us about your industry and what electricity prices are doing to it.
Well, I think it's really important to provide the context of what is Australia's food supply chain, Chris. So we start with the farmers that sell to suppliers and food manufacturers. Huge warehouses are involved then. And then they sell to my members, food distributors, who have huge freezers and chillers before it's on-sold to retail food outlets. And we sell food to about 80,000 outlets. And the vast majority of those people working in our food supply chain are family-owned businesses operating on high overheads and small margins. So any increase in the cost of business affects the price of business or the cost of business. So the trickle-down effect of that, from farmer to manufacturer to distributor to retail outlet, is higher prices in our food outlets or at the supermarket.
Absolutely,
so our energy price.
The electricity inputs are high for farmers, especially dairy farmers and the like. Obviously high in your industry when it comes to freezers and chillers and the like. Also at the retail end, the supermarkets themselves have energy as a huge cost for their refrigeration and the like. So what have the increased power prices in recent years done to the costs in the industry, the cost of our food?
Well, what we've seen is an increase of about 15% in the price of food that we pay to buy it off food manufacturers because of those high costs that you're talking about, energy prices. We've seen increases of 50% in the last 2 years. What does that look like? Some of our members are paying $100,000 a month in energy, not a year, a month, $1.2 million, and then $30,000 a month just in fuel costs. So that doesn't include a doubling of insurance from $1.1 million to 1.8, and labour costs, of course, as well. Energy drives the nation. Energy is everything when it comes to the supply chain.
Yeah, it's a very important point because there's been a lot of focus on grocery costs and supermarket costs, and the Prime Minister has been trying to suggest there's price gouging going on. Have a look at the PM from earlier.
Price gouging is when supermarkets are taking the piss off Australian consumers. That's what it is. That's what price gouging is. Everyone out there knows, consumers know, we'll take action.
Well, that struck me as a stunt at the time because we know the ACCC has looked at supermarket pricing and has really found no problem there. Obviously, if there's one thing governments could do to alleviate the cost pressures on groceries, it would be to deliver what it's promised to deliver, that is lower electricity prices.
That's absolutely spot on. With the greatest respect to the Prime Minister, I think that comment is misguided. There's got to be a focus on the cost of business within the food supply chain. Then you've got a chance of lowering food prices for the community. So what that means is an energy policy that is good for business, not bad for business. And at the moment, when you're seeing the sort of energy costs that my members are seeing, you're not just talking about business viability, whether they'll be there. You're talking about hospitality, retail, the highest insolvency rate in Australia, going out of business and people losing their jobs. That's how serious this is.
It's a huge issue and we'll keep on it. Thanks for joining us, Richard. Appreciate it. Richard Forbes there from the Independent Food Distributors Group of Australia.